And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
You're knocking on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some points on the board. Instead, you cough it up and watch them take it the rest of the way to the opposite end zone. That's a 2-score swing that you just gave up.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On second down, a run with Lindsey. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll look to throw here. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
47's the mic, boys, 47. 47. Under 10, under 10, 10. Hey,
on 2nd and 10, Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure this team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Returnable for Grant. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Watson. gets this one to Ridley, complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Calvin Ridley with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
Out there to start their next drive, Phillip Lindsay and the Broncos. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. They'll set up to throw. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw, and he's going to have the hook up with Sutton. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Kill. Check 99.
Watson. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon. Thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it.
Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15. Deshaun Watson and the Texans offense trot back out there. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. On 1st down, Watson. He's got a 1st down past the 30. And a catch made by Hopkins.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
That throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Watson now just 7 of 16 passing thus far, but he's got a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the red zone now, Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Calvin Ridley there to make the grab. And the Texans push further out in front.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Clelin Ferrell in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Clelin Ferrell in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22 and a half set in 2001. Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2.
Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans push further out in front. The 21st pick back in the 2016 draft, Will Fuller, and we know that he can take the top off of a defense.
He certainly can, and the way that he does it is just straight, pure speed. And I talked with one of the better defense coordinators in the league, and I said, how do you defend that? And he said, at times, you absolutely don't. If the quarterback gets time and he heaves it downfield, Will Fuller's going to outrun any coverage you put out there.
And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass, and that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 45 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. The open man here, Renfro. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On the counter, Lindsey. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes. Changing.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. So here are the Texans to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Watson. This one caught by Ridley. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 39-yard line. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. It's another touchdown pass for Deshaun Watson, his 5th of the afternoon, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
I'm letting you know right now.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. On third down, here's Lindsey. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Returnable here from the 38. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field.
On 1st and 10, Watson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It's another touchdown pass for Deshaun Watson, his 5th of the afternoon, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to...
And oh, it's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball. So after the block PAT, they're ready to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 6. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 27 yards, a big play there on fourth. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Watson now to throw, and this is going to be intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Let's go.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football. As we get you reset here. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Got a man that's complete to Hamilton. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as this. Stops made at the Texans' 41-yard line.
Watch time. Tight end's right. Watch it go.
Now back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all three timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Following the fumble recovery, Watson airing it out, looking for Ridley. And it's knocked away and incomplete. We're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
47's the mic, boy. 47. Check, 47. Stop your whining. Check.
From the gun, here's Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And Watson's going to throw it here toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is
but
one of our guys.
She's singing too.
Oh, she's
she's on like the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They give them a gain of 38. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. They'll set up to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for the Texans, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, things are